we will discuss maximum discharge of steam, and also we will develop general relationship between area velocity, then supersaturated flow. Now let us start with maximum discharge of steam. As we know that the pressure ratio is P2 by P1 equals to 2 by n plus 1 whole power n by n minus 1. So this equation we already derived, and also we derived equation for flow rate. M by A2 equals to square root of 2n by n minus 1 P1 by V1, here V1 is the specific volume, into P2 by P1 whole power 2 by n minus P2 by P1 whole power n plus 1 by n. Okay, this equation we already derived in the previous class. Now if you substitute P2 by P1 instead of P2 by P1, if you substitute with the 2 by n plus 1 whole power n minus 1 in this equation in place of P2 by P1, the equation would be M by A2 equals to 2 into n by n minus 1 P1 V1. Here in place of P2 by P1 I have written 2 by n plus 1 whole power n by n minus 1 into, already here 2 by n is there, so I have written here 2 by n into, again in place of P2 by P1 I have written 2 by n plus 1 whole power n by n minus 1 into n plus 1 by n, because already here n plus 1 by n is there. Now after simplification, the final equation is M by A2 equals to square root of 2 by n minus 1 P1 V1 into, here inside bracket, here you can see 2 by n plus 1, and when you simplify this part, that would be a 2 by n minus 1 minus 2 by n plus 1. Again after simplifying this part, it would be a n plus 1 by n minus 1. Okay. Now from this equation we can find the maximum discharge of the steam inside the nozzle. Okay. Now that let us see. If the steam is saturated steam, as we know that for saturated steam n value is 1.135. If you substitute this n value in this equation, we will get m equals to 0.6356 A2 square root of P1 by V1. Okay, so from this equation we can find the maximum discharge of steam if the steam is saturated steam. Same way we can find for superheated steam. Okay, that you can see here. For superheated steam, the n value is 1.3. Okay, again if you substitute this n value in this equation, m equals to 0.6673 A2 whole power P1 by V1. Okay, this is the equation for maximum discharge of steam if the steam is superheated steam. Okay, here we have two equations. The first equation is for if the steam is saturated, the second equation is the steam is superheated. Okay, from this equation we can find the maximum discharge of the steam. Now let us see derivation for general relation between parameters. The main parameters are area and velocity. Now we are going to derive derivation for the relation between velocity and cross sectional area. As we know that mass flow rate equals to area into velocity divided by specific volume. This we can write it as a plus delta a into c plus delta c divided by v plus delta v equals to ac by v. Okay. Now when we multiply with v, this portion, that would be a v ac plus va delta c plus vc delta a plus v delta a del c. Okay. And again, if you multiply ac with denominator, so ac into, we can write it as cv plus ac del v. Okay. Here, as you can see, VAC and here VAC gets cancelled, and here, as you can see here, V del A del C, here del A del C are infinite decimals, so these are infinite to 0. So the remaining terms are VA del C, VC del A and AC del V. Okay. Now if you divide with the all three terms with the VAC, that is VA del C by VAC plus VC del A by VAC equals to AC del V divided by VAC. Okay. Here VA gets cancelled, and here also, here AC gets cancelled. Okay. Now after simplification, the remaining part is del C by C plus del A by A minus del V by V equals to 0. Okay. Or dC by C plus dA by A minus dV by V equals to 0. Now, as we know that PV power n equals to constant, this we can write it as dP by P plus n into dV by D equals to 0. So from this equation, dV by V equals to minus 1 by n dP by P. Okay. Now this equation we will substitute here in this equation in place of dV by V. We also know that CDC equals to minus VDP. This we already derived. So from this equation, DC equals to minus VD by C, and DC by C equals to minus VDP by C square. Again, this equation also we substitute here in place of DC by C in this equation. Okay. Now that part you will see after substitution what would be the equation. As you can see here, so DC by C plus dA by A minus dV by V equals to 0. This equation I have written here. Now in place of DC by C, I have written V minus VDP by C plus dA by A plus, in place of dV by V, we have written 1 by n dP by P equals to 0. Okay. Now this we can write it as dA by A equals to VDP by C square minus 1 by n dP by T. Okay, the continuation we will see in the next slide. Now continuation from the previous slide, that is dA by A equals to VDP by C square minus 1 by n dP by T. This we can write it as dA by A equals to, if you take 1 by n dP by P common in the bracket, npv by c square minus 1. Okay, here npv is a, that is sonic velocity. So dA by a equals to 1 by n dp by p into a by c square minus 1. Okay, as we know that Mach number is m equals to c by a. C means actual velocity, a is the sonic velocity. So the above equation we can write it as dA by a equals to 1 by n dp by p 1 by m square. In place of a by c square, here I have written 1 by m square minus 1. Okay, this is the final equation. From this equation we will find the relation between cross-sectional area and velocity of the fluid. Now let us find the relation between cross-section area and velocity using this equation. If the velocity is subsonic velocity, for subsonic velocity the Mach number is less than 1. Okay, if the number is less than 1 in this equation, this term it would be a positive. Okay, coming to dp by p, as we know that the function of the nozzle is by reducing the pressure it will increase the velocity of the fluid. So the term dp by p is negative. So here negative into positive, it would give a negative value. So the cross section dA by a is negative. So that is the reason why in the convergent nozzle, as you can see here, the cross section area decreases because it is negative if the velocity is subsonic velocity. Generally in the convergent nozzle the velocity is subsonic velocity. That is the reason why the cross section area keep on decreasing. Now if the Mach number is equals to 1, the velocity is sonic. If you substitute m value in this equation, this term it would be a 0. As we know that dp by p is negative, so negative into 0 it would be a 0. So the cross section area is 0. So that is the reason why in the throat the cross section is constant. So this is the throat, this is the convergent nozzle. If the Mach number is greater than 1, in that case the velocity is supersonic. Okay, if you substitute this value in this equation, if the Mach number is greater than 1, okay, it would be a negative. As we know that dp by p is already negative, so negative into negative positive. So dA by a is positive. So this is the reason why in the divergent nozzle the cross section area keep on decreases because the cross section area is positive. Okay, so it would be like this. So this is the nozzle. Okay, in the convergent nozzle the velocity is subsonic, the cross section is negative. In the throat the cross section is constant. In the divergent nozzle the cross section area keep on increases because it is positive. Okay, but generally when cross section area decreases the velocity increases. But if the velocity is supersonic velocity, in that case To increase the velocity, we have to increase the cross-section area of the nozzle. Now let us see the length and angle of the convergent and divergent part. As you can see in this figure, generally the length of the convergent part is shorter than the length of the divergent part. Okay, both the lengths are not equal and angles also not equal. Generally, the angle in the divergent part, it is less than the 20 degrees. Okay, because if the angle is more than 20 degrees, there will be separation of flow takes place, which means when passing through the divergent nozzle, the fluid separation will take place in this area. So that is the reason why usually the divergent angle, it will be 12 to 15 degrees centigrade, and also this is the reason why the length of the divergent part is more when compared to the length of the convergent part. This is the convergent part, this is the divergent part. Now let us see the relation between cross-section area and velocity of the diffusers. Okay, as we know that the function of the diffuser is it converts kinetic energy into potential energy, which means here the velocity of the fluid reduced and the pressure of the fluid increases. It is just reverse of the nozzle. Here also we use the same equation to find the relation between cross-section area and velocity. The equation is dA by A equals to 1 by N dP by P 1 by m square minus 1. Here m is the Mach number. Okay, here in this case, if the m is Mach number is greater than 1, the velocity is supersonic. Okay, if you keep m greater than 1 in this equation, this part it would be a negative, and dP by D, coming to dP by P, in this case in the diffusers, pressure increasing and velocity decreasing, so the dP by P value is positive. So positive into negative, so negative cross section. Okay, now coming to if the Mach number is less than 1, in case Mach number is less than 1, in that case if we substitute m less than 1 in this equation, this term it would be a positive, and as we know that dP by P is positive because in the diffuser the pressure is increasing by reducing the velocity. So dP by P is positive, so positive into positive, dA by A is positive. So this is the way we design the diffusers. Okay. The last topic I would like to discuss is effect of supersaturated flow of the fluid in the nozzle. As you can see here in HS diagram, this curve is the saturation curve. Here 1, 2, 3 is the process inside the nozzle. 1 at the inlet of the nozzle, 2 at the exit of the nozzle. Okay. Now when steam flowing inside the nozzle, there will be condensation. Actually the condensation should start at point 2 because this 2 is at the near the saturation curve. Below the saturation curve there will be condensation. But in the nozzle the velocity of the fluid is very high. It would be around 700 meters per second. Since the velocity is very high, there is no time for fluid for condensation inside the nozzle. So instead of condensing at point 2, it will start condensing at point 4. Okay, this lag is known as supersaturated flow of the fluid. Again, I am repeating. Instead of condensing at point 2, it will start condensing at point 4 because of the high velocity inside the nozzle. This lag is known as supersaturated flow of the fluid. Okay, so with this topic, the nozzle chapter is over. Next class, we will solve some problems on the nozzle.